Okay. Good evening, everyone. Welcome with round 5 of CityLiga on Fern Bay Gold, or Fern Bay 3, also known as Fern Bay 3. Qualify is going on. Just started. 10 minutes to qualify with the LX4. And yeah, it's quite busy on the track. Everybody's still in the in-lap. As usual, I'm distracted a little bit by setting all kinds of stuff up, but never mind. We have two co-commentators this evening. It's Dom as the previous rounds were he was there also, but somebody who has been away for quite some time has reappeared, and that's Kit. He's busy setting up LFS again and everything, and he will join us a little bit later, I think, during the race. Anyway, let's drag Dom into this commentary box and yeah, do the hellos and stuff.
User was moved to your channel.
Good evening, Dom.
Hello.
The qualifier has just started of this session with LX4, or this round, so to say, on Fern Bay Gold. For some reason, I need to get used to it again, although I'm busy with the stream for an hour already. But testing. The first times are now being set. Kovac has the pole at the moment. Pole time, but yeah, we will see. 10 minutes qualify, so people can improve with doing another 1 or 2 laps, maybe 3 even.
Now I expect most people to do at least 2 laps in a row because of the tires.
Yep.
Just can't get any heat in them over 1 lap.
Times are coming in. Yeah, I think it's not much use to report the changes yet. I think there will be a lot of changes after they've done their second lap, official qualify lap. TC Racing at the moment is performing quite good. Savvy on pole, second Pete, but yeah, we will see how it ends up. Like I mentioned in my intro already, we are going to be joined by Kit also later this evening. He's been away for quite some time, doing other stuff, maybe busy with life and everything. Yeah, he's currently installing his LFS account and everything, LFS itself. So that will be going on later. I think we have more people, 3 people now, 3 drivers now, more than the last race.
That's maybe, I'm not quite sure. It's certainly enough for a small track, so even 20 cars is enough here, and we have a bit more than that.
There we have our second co-commentator, third commentator, joining the server. 28 connections, 4 are spectating. So
Plus the host, so it's 23 drivers.
okay, yeah. Thanks for
All of
for
whom
everybody.
have set a time already.
Exactly, that's what I was trying to figuring out. And it's only 3 minutes to go.
Yeah, it's fairly short. It's 10-minute qualifying, which at most is gonna give you 7 laps, and that's if you stay out the whole session, which I don't think anyone would do or will have done.
Figuring out what person is best to keep an eye on. Kovac at the moment has the pole time, 1 minute 30:36. That's more than half a second faster than Savvy. Let's see where Savvy is driving. He is doing an in-lap, waiting on a good spot.
I
Do an
think he
official
wants to have
qualifier.
a clear road to warm up his tires. And almost spin while doing it. It's a bit tricky with the LX. You basically don't have a lot of power, so even the rear wheels take a bit of time to get heated up, but the front wheels basically do nothing other than keep the front off the ground, well, and steer the car. But they don't get a lot of stress. So you have to work them quite hard if you want them to respond instantly after just one outlap.
Mikovic is a little bit behind Savvy. So we are first going to follow what Savvy is going to do in his flying lap. But it's a lot of, the difference is high, more than half a second. It's, to be exact, it's 55, so okay, half a second. That's a lot. I think you need to have a lot of luck with the chicane.
Yeah, it's a bit, it's not that easy in this car because it's quite light and it doesn't have that much grip, but it's possible if you have it's easier in the race because, well, your car's heavier and therefore it has a bit more rear grip. But in qualifying it can be a bit hairy, I guess. And I also expect that at the end of the race that quite a few people, or that some people, actually might struggle with a bit of oversteer because the fuel's worn off.
Right, let's see what's going to happen. Qualify session is over, but Savvy is still, of course, in his flying lap and he's about to cross start finish. I didn't watch split times and he improved his time, but it's not enough. But yeah, second position. I think that's quite good. Let's see where is Mikovic. Apparently, oh no, Mikovic is still driving.
Don't think that lap will improve anything. He accidentally went down to first gear right there.
He though improves to third place. Do we still have somebody? There are some.
Morvai still in a lap, but he's got slightly hot rear tires. Look like he stayed out the whole session.
Yeah, we have Asko and Maffey. Maybe they can improve their times. Maffey currently 58, 158, and Asko 210. That's Asko improves. Yeah. Difficult to follow still. But I think now everybody session has ended, so to say. Qualify session has ended. So there's going to be a break of about 3-4 minutes, I guess. Which is good because then we can have the track presentation done by Pete again.
Hello, and welcome to the 5th track presentation for CityLiga Season 22. This week, the drivers will be taking on 50 laps of Fernbay Gold in the LX4 with 10 minutes of open qualifying. This race features 2 mandatory pit stops which the drivers can serve at any point during the race, except on the final lap. Choosing when to make your stops could make or break your race. If you're stuck in a battle but pit too soon, you might come out of the pits behind another group of cars, so make sure you try and judge where you'll rejoin after your stop. Let's go to the track. The amount of speed you carry out of the final chicane will determine how late you can get onto the brakes for T1. It's important to get a smooth entry utilising the inside curb. Make sure you don't run the car too wide as this scrubs speed and lap time. Get the car back over to the right hand side and prepare to throw it into the chicane, avoiding the tyres at all costs. Running a wheel onto the grass on the left here will hamper the entirety of your second sector, so avoid it at all costs. Keep a tight line up the hill past the first sector and stick to the groove through this complex of bends. For this next one, you'll need to lift off, as running wide will not only slow you down, but might make the car a handful under brakes at the end of the bridge. This straight will be prime overtaking opportunity if the car ahead made a mistake or if you're close enough to get in the slipstream. For the left-hander off the bridge, make sure you get the perfect shift of weight, as understeer here will have you off into the gravel. As you can see for the next long left-hander, I wasn't quite able to get the weight transfer I wanted on entry, which made me understeer wide and caused me to lift, as to not touch the grass on the exit. Mistakes in those left-handers might tempt your opponents to send one up the inside into the 90 right-hander. Taking the curb here doesn't harm, but might give you an unstable landing. Get the car back into the middle of the road and flick it in for this long left-hander. Now it's just a case of managing your throttle inputs as you try and get the power down as soon as possible for the final chicane. Take a healthy chunk of curb on the inside, but be careful not to be sent out wide onto the grass at the beginning of the home straight. This was one lap in the LX4 of Fernbay Gold. See you in the race.
Right, this was Pete. Thanks Pete for the track presentation. We're back with LFS. We're waiting until the race is going to start. Kit is ready to join this commentary box, so let's invite him and ask about what he's done and everything. And yeah.
User was moved to your channel.
Good evening, Kit.
Hello everyone, and hello Dave and Dom.
Whoa. Your microphone is very loud.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure it out. Is it better?
I think so.
I'm just moving it farther from my mouth.
That's a good idea. You have a new microphone?
Well, the one I'm using right now.
Let me listen back. I think it's okay. Yeah, I was listening back to the stream about your microphone. Maybe
Okay,
I was.
I hope I didn't scare you with the volume.
No, well. Anyway, how are you doing? Yep, so you still have the same microphone as couple of let's say during the endurance race The
Well, yes and no. I was using a webcam microphone before, but I have also my headphones, which are still the same. But they didn't work at my home desktop PC, but they do work at the laptop, which is strange, but it's okay.
saying that because the quality is much better, really much better.
I'm glad to hear that.
That's good. Don't touch anything. Maybe, like I said, maybe I need to adjust the audio levels, but yeah, we will see. Anyway, we're busy with round 5 of CityLiga, Firm Bay LX4. We're about to have, well, we're having a test start, like lab start. Yeah, not sure if I'm going to reset the in-sim or not, because the grid is wrong, but I think after restart that's going to be okay, but I'm not sure. You'll see. No big deal, I think. I hope. Yeah, we changed. In the meantime, we changed from Hitbox to YouTube.
That's also great.
Yeah, I think so. People have the opportunity to watch at a lower quality if their bandwidth of their internet provider is not sufficient enough, and yeah, I think that's good.
Well, I'm also glad that I made it for this race because LX4 at Fern Bay 3 was always my favorite combo.
Uh-huh. You're having the chat with unblock messages. Some keys is stuck. Be careful that you don't do that during the official race.
Yes, I had my push to talk set to this button.
I already was thinking something like that.
To a long time now LFS. So let's go.
Yeah, the race is about to start. I
And
configured
Troy
a
already pits.
quick last second pit. I configured a track cam.
But he forgot his fuel.
The lights are orange and green, and we have liftoff.
Yes, like the SpaceX. Into the first turn we go, and well, nothing major happening so far. Everybody taking it calm. Troy was under a bit of pressure from Leibniz, but that has been solved.
Everybody went clean to the first corner and the first go up of the chicane. Good.
Yeah, indeed.
Mikovic has changed to took over from Pete, position number 3, podium position.
As they are still fighting because Pete is not happy in 4th position.
Directly followed by Winkler, Corson, and yeah. Troy is behind that, but there's a little bit of a gap there. It's really busy behind Mikovic there.
Pete goes inside, but he's outside on the next turn, and he stays in forward for now. But good chance of overtaking at the end of the straight. He doesn't get in the draft, but he's on the outside. Let's see how this works. Oh, Mikiewicz almost touches him. But Well, he backs off. Meanwhile, Kistner and Mensafest pit for the first time, probably some trouble after the start.
I'm not sure. Maybe it's tactical pit stop.
Do you think so? I haven't
Well,
read the race rules, so I don't know if there are any pit stops.
I did. There's a mandatory pit stop.
There are 2 mandatory pit stops.
Two
Okay.
mandatory pit stops.
Well, that's interesting strategy. Might work. Anyway, Troy is up to 5th position. He somehow made up 2 places in the last lap.
Yeah, he has Winkler on his back. Really onto his back. So probably busy defending.
That's a
rather
good
than
job.
to try to catch up with Pete.
I think Troy, as usual, not the best in qualifying, but he might outperform his competitors in the race.
Yeah, he quite like the LX4, as far as I know.
Unless Cat jumps into his table. And we have more pit stops. Both Catilla guys, a Mikey and LRK racer Kistner. And that's all so far.
Yeah, but they only stop, but they don't do anything during the pit stop. No fuel, no tires, nothing.
You don't
Yeah,
have
tires.
to. It's only about stopping twice.
Okay.
Because it's hard to overtake you, so you get 2 joker laps effectively.
That's good thinking by the admin team.
Well, the admin team made the rules.
And still, I think even with LX4 you can still overtake well into the first turn and after the bridge. And with some balls maybe in some
After
other
the
places.
bridge? Oh, that bridge you mean.
I mean, at the Royals.
Yes, yeah, well, I was earlier practicing with bridges of a bit track camps, setting up track camps, and there is a pedestrian bridge, which is unfinished by the way, but that was in my head. I was thinking, huh? But you mean the steel bridge, of course.
Yeah, of course.
The really, yeah. So it's difficult to overtake while Mikovic overtook Pete at the start, but other than that, I maybe didn't pay enough attention and didn't see any overtakes indeed. While drivers...
We have another 2 pit stops by Ronald and Connor. That makes almost half of the field in the pits, or after the pit stop right now.
If I take a look at the InSim, it's about 1/3 of the field has done pit stop. 2, 4, 6, and probably the 3. So 9 out of 23. That 1/3.
Oh, somebody spins on the bridge.
It's a bit more than a third.
It's Mikey and he's pretty badly beaten up. Well, the wheels are okay, so he should be able to continue. But I wonder
doesn't
what
matter if
happened
the
there.
wheels are broken, he's got a spare.
Yeah, of course.
He received a tiny bit of damage. It's visible. Let's get back to the front of the field. Actually, let's take a look at what Winkler is doing. Winkler has Corson on the back.
Meanwhile, Kappel has overtaken Spencer for 10th position, and Spencer makes a mistake in the chicane, so Kappel is able to drive away a little bit.
As driver, you're free to decide how your pit stops are going to be made. So let's say you can do 2 pit stops at lap 48 and lap 49 just before the race ends. That's no problem.
That's no problem at all, no.
Okay.
If that's what you want to do.
Well, I'm commentating, so I'm not doing anything. But yeah, trying to figure out.
Well, I meant more in general, if people want to do that, sure. They can do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it
Well,
can be a race change.
well, then
Later.
theoretically we have pretty good options ahead of us, but practically we'll see what the drivers do. The field is already spreading, and drivers who have pitted could be catching the back of the field of the drivers who haven't pitted yet. I don't know, maybe in 5 laps.
Yeah, I'm a little bit scrolling down the field, how everybody is doing, also how it's going in the back of the field, people who already pitted. We have Connor went out of the track a little bit. Maybe we can, I don't know if that's working. I didn't test it, to be honest. The autocam. That's also difficult here. Because a lot of people are just a little bit against the wall or out of the track. Like Connor, for
still the
example.
usual. I kind of thought that it would be already solved. It's been a long time.
But
Well, never mind that.
the autocam, well, I throughout the time I made some changes and I never finished that. But yeah, that's the story on its own. We are back with Winkler. Not for any particular reason, but it's in front of the field and these cars are still somewhat close together.
Well, looking at the lap times, we could have a battle between 3rd to 5th place in a few laps, because Troy is already up to his speed. Pete is at the same pace, but Mikiewicz is a bit slower, and so is the Savvy in 2nd place. So the future might look bright for the viewers.
I think we're going to have to take a look at an onboard of Troy.
That's a good idea.
Split 58, it's 0.2 of seconds faster than Pete, who's driving in front there of Troy.
Yes, his driving and his line looks really smooth, much smoother than the drivers ahead.
Yeah, 0.2 quicker on this lap, but let's see if there's continuation in this. It's still quite risky, that chicane. As always,
but it's been there for 10 years. People
yeah,
should know
true.
it by now.
Try making a small mistake, but this will cost him a few tenths of a second.
Well, 500 of a second slower on the split, but probably part of the mistake already was a split 2, I think. let's see what his second split sector time is going to be. 58.38, and that's 1/10 slower. Looks more.
I think he was pushing too hard in the fast sweeping corners section in the second sector and missed the line, went a bit offline, and that cost him the time. And the leader Kovac drives the fastest lap. It's now 31.22.
Yeah, the gap between the leader and Savi in this case is already quite.
Yeah, 2.5 seconds already. It's 8 laps completed.
Yeah, on the stream it's tricky to do that, but you can see it on the everybody can see it on the mini map that that gap is quite big already. So I think if Kovac doesn't have any problems during the race, either with his internet connection or something weird happens, then yeah, it's going to be a great performance for him. But we're not even 10 laps into the race out of 50.
Well, exactly. Let's
Anything
not
can happen.
jump ahead too much because this is Fernbay after all. Anything can happen in 1 second.
For my gold with LX4, I think that's quite okay. For some reason, personally, I have more problems with the reversed version of this track, but maybe that's personal. I don't know.
Well,
But
still could be Fernbay green. That's the worst.
yeah, okay, but then you're talking about really different combination. But for some reason, personally, the reverse version of this is more difficult, and I also have the experience on public racing, other racers on car game who had more difficulties with the reverse version. But anyway, doesn't matter. This is not the reverse version. This is the normal version.
Yeah, and we have a fastest lap from all drivers in this lap by Troy. He did 31.36 and already fixed his mistake from previous lap. And he's already really close to Pete, so we'll see what he could be in a battle with him real soon, like maybe on the start-finish straight even. Well, he might be in his slipstream. That he's not so close. But I think it's officially on.
The battle, you mean?
Yes.
The battle is officially on.
Let's see how Pete handles this pressure. Because, well, you know, Troy is consistent. So is Pete, but they always can get to the driver.
I think the TCR people are quite used to pressure with all these police chases.
Well, you know, Troy is a little bit more difficult opponent than police.
Not sure.
I'm quite sure.
Yeah?
Yeah. Plus, usually they are the police, so they're chasing, they're not being chased.
I think we have a slipstream opportunity for this start-finish straight. Troy is lining up behind Pete. Pete is trying to cover the inside, and so he does, but Troy goes the outside line, brakes later, and he looks like he takes it. It was really close. Pete almost made contact with his rear wheel, but Troy is now in 4th position. A good move. Oh, but now he makes a mistake.
Another
Makes a
track.
mistake in the and there's a contact. Whoa,
It was a little contact,
that
but
was nasty.
in the end, he's back to square one. He's back on back of Pete. Back on the back of Pete.
Don't mess with the Fernbay chicane. Never.
In a way, it's good because I can practice my camera stuff. I made a small mistake with.
Troy is showing himself to Pete in his mirrors, and Pete makes a mistake in the corner after the bridge, and Troy is on the inside again. And again, but Pete has the faster line on the other hand, so he
Troy
stays
had
on the
oversteer.
inside.
And Troy oversteered. Okay.
This is
Oh.
a really good battle. Let's see if Troy can have an answer for that on this straight. But again, it seems like he's too far. Yes, he backs out of it.
Yeah, and we have Winkler there in his mirror. Winkler and Corson. This is turned out to be an interesting part of the race. Battle for 4th place. Pete driving now 4th position. Troy behind that, shortly followed by Winkler and Corson. Wow, Kovic, Savvy and Mikovic, the number 1, 2 and 3.
Troy is going for it again. And now on the outside.
Holding my breath.
Brakes
Good.
later again. Holds the outside position. But looks like it won't work this time. There was a small contact and Pete slides wide, but holds it on the road. Troy tries to cut back in on the inside, but no space in there. And
Look
we
at
have
Winkler.
only Winkler in the
Yes.
mix. Carson is also not so far behind. Troy again in the slipstream into the first corner, tries the inside but Pete blocks the way. Troy brakes very late, he goes on the grass and he loses also to Winkler and also the Carson even. Well, that was not a good move. He loses two positions in one turn instead of gaining one.
Pete through the onboard of Winkler, by the way. That was a fast, maybe too fast switch.
Well, now Troy will probably try to overtake Carson. Because he must be kicking himself, really. But
we have
again,
no-
he brakes a little bit later and loses more time.
We have no driver interviews this time. Pete and Troy, who are normally can be here, they're not here today. So maybe they were thinking that they need full focus on this combination.
Yeah, I
Verbe-
think so.
Verbe and
I
LX4.
wouldn't even. I wouldn't
Wait till
even
next.
talk to Troy on
wait
this
till
track.
the next race.
Okay.
So what's the next race?
FO8 AS5. I need
Uh,
full
which track?
concentration to that. This is easy in comparison, going really slowly.
Which track did you say?
AS5. aka the longest track that isn't an open config.
Aston Grand Touring, right?
Oh,
Grand Prix.
Grand Prix, okay.
you mean full throttle all the time?
No,
Oh yes,
not at all.
I agree, it's difficult.
So this car only has like 12.5 horsepower. But it weighs only 5 kilos.
So, well, anyway, Troy is lining up behind Corson, takes the inside line, and brakes late again.
Already, no. He was past Corson, but
Yeah, but he decided to go on onto FE2R.
I wonder if he has cat under his pedals because he's braking so late so many times now. And Corson makes a mistake and allows Troy to get alongside him, but well, let's see how this works. Well, Troy has it. Troy has it, I think. Yeah. Corson is in the slipstream though. But I think Troy has discovered.
He's too far away already for a proper move.
Now it was Corson who was braking a bit later and almost destroyed Troy's spare tire, but it's okay for now.
yeah, I think the pressure is off Troy, and obviously the pressure is off Winkler, and the gap between Pete and Winkler is also considerable now. So I'm looking if there's any other action on the track besides
Oh.
Troy and Corson.
While we were watching this battle, we had another 2 pit stops by Morvai and Kapal, and these are in 11th and 12th place.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
But I would still keep an eye on the 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th because it's probably the best the race has to offer for now. And Troy is still faster than the guys ahead of him.
Yeah, true. I agree. I rode through the whole field, and the best of action is it's going to be, I think, indeed between Pete, Winkler, Troy, and Corson. Let's take a look at Winkler for a moment. Winkler, I think, is catching up with. No, they do the same split times. But I have the feeling that Winkler is a little bit faster. Yeah, 1/10. It's not much, but this race is about tenths, I think, and mistakes.
Looks like Troy is in the zone again because I'm watching his line. He's taking on the track, and it's better than the drivers ahead, and he almost beats his best lap. And the gap to the drivers ahead is just over 1 second, which is he's catching up fast.
Well,
Also, Winkler
Winkler's-
makes a mistake in the
Yes.
chicane and goes off. That helps Troy.
Not yet. I think he's not in the slipstream zone. I
Well,
think.
it's still time lost for Winkler.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just below 4/10 of a second. So Troy might be lining up for the overtake soon.
Yeah, that mistake costed Winkler a lot of time. 7 is it 7? 6, 7/10 of a second. Let's see on start finish.
But still
Eight-
too far
8 tenths.
behind. Well, we have 18 laps completed, and I think at least 9 drivers still haven't taken their pit stop. At least one of them.
10 drivers didn't make a pit stop yet. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, 10.
A lot more didn't make 2.
Yeah, you need to make 2, of course. So, but I think the tactic of everyone is just to keep that extra pit stop as a safe for something weird happens, like crashing or damaging. To make a third pit stop, that would be not really a great idea. Benzafest made a pit stop and it did also repair his car. That costed him 19 seconds. Which brings him really onto the back of the field. But was this his first pit stop or his second pit stop? Yeah, some people already made their second pit stops. Kisner and Benzafest made 2 pit stops. We're still watching Troy, who's catching up with Winkler again. Well, catching up. They have the same split sector times. And who's driving
Some
in front there?
driver who's a lap behind.
Yeah, it's Benzafest. Benzafest is driving there in front of Winkler. Well, Troy. Ooh! Troy was on the grass a little bit too much. Almost lost control.
I was just waiting for this to happen. He's on the edge always in this turn.
Had some difficulty there also there in that chicane, I think. Again on the grass, he's really not having his focus. let's watch his split time. Maybe it's not that disastrous as I think it is. 0.3 of a second slower, yeah, that's not, well, not good, but it's not terrible also. 0.3 of a second slower than Winkler in this case. Kovac is yeah, making a little bit faster split times even. Kovac is in the 57.8, while Troy is in 58.3 and Winkler's 58 blank.
Well, now there's a surprise for me at least, because I don't know much about Sully, but he just drove the fastest lap of the race with 31.13.
Heavy, yeah, he's not a bad racer. Not a slow racer, so to say. Although it depends also on the car.
Yes, I think I don't remember him from the last CityLiga I have been able to commentate on.
Oh, well, I did a lot of commentary, but my memory nevertheless is quite bad, so I don't know also. But I know him from public racing. Car game, he showed up a couple of times, quite sometimes, and always has been quite fast in certain cars. Not every car. Everybody has his favorites, of course. While Troy had a pretty good second sector. Finally, maybe. So,
Well, he's now trading good laps with really bad laps. Now it's his best lap of the race.
yep.
Just before it was like 6/10 slower than now.
Nice, aggressively through that chicane. Exactly the same split as Winkler has.
And from Troy's onboard, I can see that Winkler is really a bit more rough, not really so good in the turns. So it's just a matter of time, I think, until Troy is behind him and overtaking again.
Yeah, Winkler is getting bigger in front of Troy. 57.88, 58.16 for Winkler, so that's again is 3/10 to the 3/10 quicker.
But
Troy is
still, it's too far for overtake.
fastest lap done by Mikovic now.
But again, a really good lap by Troy for his standards.
For his standards. You mean this race? I think.
Well, yes,
Yeah.
this race, of course.
I think he's pretty good with LX4 in general, but he didn't have the swing, the drive, how do you say that?
Practice.
He was not in his zone. You said that earlier. Now he's in his zone. Maybe it also has to do with the tires. I don't know about that.
Well, speaking of tires, this set of tires should definitely last the whole length of the race, so that's no problem. I wonder.
Yeah, but I'm talking about temperature, of course.
Yeah, of course. I just wonder if the fuel tank is big enough, or if they have to refuel.
No.
Okay.
Short answer.
But less fuel in the tank. We're now halfway in the race. That also helps with handling.
We could easily do 10 more laps in the race and people still wouldn't have to refuel.
Boring. Okay, well, another
Review or no review. It's good. 2 pit stops or 2 pit stops. So yeah.
Bernie Ecclestone likes this. That is if he had Facebook.
For Formula One and this whole thing with tires, and you need to use these tires and that tires. It's for me that's way too complicated.
Well, I just have a question. You know how many Ecclestones it takes to change a light bulb?
150.
Nope, he's still busy trying to fix the power switch.
Okay. In the meantime, try catch up on the back of Winkler. For the 3rd time now already, I don't know.
Well, now he's 2 tenths behind him on later, and oh boy, that will be a good battle. He's already kissing his reserve
Rear
tire.
Rear tire. People are wondering maybe why we already have Troy on this stream for laps.
He's just going for the overtake, straight into the inside. Winkler is not even defending, so... Oh, Troy brakes late again, but drifts the turn.
Almost drifting through that corner, yeah.
And he's 5th, and he's in 5th position.
Let's see if we can see on the mini-map there's... besides this, there's not any action on the track.
That's not true, there's a lot of action in the lower places.
Is it? Oh yeah, see here on the straight. This is Buffy and Ronald.
It's Matti and Kapal. And that's for 13th and 14th position.
Oh yeah, it's
And
Kapal,
there's also a battle between... It's close with Littman and Jay Katila. It's for 17th and 18th position. So those might be also the battles to keep an eye on. Because for now it
you're
looks
talking
like
about Katila and Connor now?
Littman and Katila.
Yeah,
For now it
well,
looks
Katila,
like
yeah.
Troy has disappeared from Winkler. And now he will be catching Pete, and he will be catching him successfully, because even though he has been overtaking Winkler in the last lap, he drove his fastest lap time of the race in his time. And it was also 4 tenths of a second faster than Pete's.
Yeah, we will track that, but it's going to take some time, I think, until they get close to each other. We are still Jay Katila and Dietmar on the stream. Not sure where we can expect the action. Yeah, Ronald and Esco. Ronald is doing 20:25 and Esco is a little bit faster.
Troy is absolutely on fire. He's now almost full 1 second faster than Pete. And the gap is just over 1 second now, which is like... Oof. He got 1.5 seconds in 2 laps. And that's a battle for 4th position. That's a good job.
We're still with Ronald and Eska for a moment. I expect to move there as well.
Yes, I will keep you informed as Troy drives off the track and almost spins at the bridge. That was close. Well, that's the gap. Yeah, that's all the time he gained. Poof, into the air.
We lost time again because of that, okay?
Yep.
Well, Ronald, as people can see in the stream, makes a mistake, and in the chicane as well, one mistake. It's always lucky shot there. Loses half second, so going to take some time for him to catch up with Asko again. Gives us the opportunity to watch what Troy is doing. He indeed lost a second. Yeah. So we have Ronald and Asko, and we have is really in the back of the field is Kishner and Connor. Let's do the onboard. It's in the back of the field, but Kishner already made 2 pit stops, so it's not really fair to say that it's the back of the field. And Connor only made 1 pit stop, so this is not actually really for a position. Well, Kishner chooses the inside because Connor maybe on purposely makes some room there, so that overtake was quite easy for Kishner. But then again, Connor still needs to make his 2nd pit stop, so...
Well, Connor is not giving up.
That's what I wanted to say. Is he realizing that? Because he tries to go on the outside of Kishner.
Well, at least something is happening.
Which is not succeeding. Yeah, but it's a little bit... what are these tires doing there? This is from Jekatila, maybe?
Yeah, it looks like it was from him.
Throw the tire on the track. But yeah, Kishner had no problems with that, and Connor is not on his back anymore. Okay, but yeah, it was a little bit pointless from Connor to fight anyway from that position because of the pit stop difference. Anyway, that's that. What do we have here with Ronald catching up with
We're not
again.
really catching up. It's looks still the same.
Yeah, but for me it looks like they come closer to each other. But it's only one tenth difference on the lap time.
Oh, Mikey flipped from 16th.
Oh my. Rest in peace, Mikey.
I was too late with clicking and you already spectated.
Yes, it was in the first chicane. Probably hit the tires or something.
Now I'm confused with my camera work. Let's take a look at Savvy driving in 2nd place. He's about to lap. Let's do the inboard. About to lap. Who is that driving in front of him?
It's J.A. Katila.
Yeah.
And he's holding him up. But that's not good spot to overtake.
He's angry about that, using his horn. Yeah.
I think he's a bit impatient there, sorry, but I wouldn't want to be overtaken there either.
Yeah, me neither. That was really too hasty. Meanwhile, Ronald goes for his second pit stop.
Let's see, Mikovic is going to do that. Sorry about the quick camera shifts, but yeah, okay. Mikovic has less problems with Jake Tilla because it's on a different part of the track, also of course. Did Savi lose time there? Yes, he did. To be exact, 8/10. Yeah, that can happen. Blue flag situation.
I was just worried he would wash wide and hit Katila
Yeah,
because of where he was taking him, but well, no harm done, so I guess it's fine, but
well, it's still 19 laps to go, or 18 and a half, and maybe he still thinks he has a shot at Kovac.
he has
I don't
to
think
really
so,
mess
but,
up his pit stops if he wants to do that, or mess up his driving. Otherwise, I think the gap's probably too large.
Yeah,
You can't really pull one out of the hat in these cars.
we still haven't had any drive-through penalty for pit lane speeding, so that's surprising for me.
Well, the pit lane is quite short, so if you brake on time and select the latest pit square, then it's very difficult to drive too fast, I think. But let's focus back on
Let's
Troy.
wait a second. Troy drive the fastest lap of the race. And he's the
Yes.
first guy under 1 minute 31 seconds.
Yes.
It looks like he's really in the zone right now, and a speed hits the tire wall in the first chicane, and that slows him down.
And that removed the tire for Troy.
It was already gone when Pete was there.
Yeah.
So they both got the same advantage.
Yeah, Troy has very smooth cornering if he's focused.
Yeah, it's just improve the consistency, and he's the winning material.
Well, I'm sure Kovac is the best without looking at his times. I think Kovac is the most consistent, the fastest.
Yeah, well, I think he's just in safety mode.
Let's take a look at Kovac for a moment while Troy is going to catch up in the meantime. Kovac is also driving on the right-hand side. In
Yeah,
comparison,
actually, I think on this track it could be better helpful because the weight distribution is different.
well, Savin is doing the same, but he's English, of course. But Pete, on the other hand, is driving on the left-hand side. Well, he's from the UK also. Weird, funny selection of.
I think it's because Savi doesn't know how to left-hand drive. Which is
He's not
obviously
very-
the proper side of the car, as most of the world has fine reason knowledge.
Yeah, okay, but is it an advantage to?
It's faster to be on the right.
Yeah.
Not a lot, but less than a tenth. But It's easy in the S's. You're not gonna have much of a difference. Like the only problem is that triple left-hander after the bridge.
Oh yeah, it's funny that Pete selected the left-hand side.
Well, it doesn't make a difference. No. But it does, but it's so small. It's basically
Well,
not worth mentioning, really.
well, like I said, he's from the UK, so why
Well,
do
he's
you
not
mind?
Correct side
patriotic
of the car,
enough.
obviously.
He doesn't like
Right.
the Queen. He needs more democracy.
In the meantime, it seems that Troy could catch up even more with Pete.
Well, again, it's, in my opinion, just a matter of time, unless Troy fails again. And as we speak, the leader will be entering the 36th lap, which means there will be 15 laps remaining. And he also drive the best lap of the race, which is now 30.85.
And instantly does the mandatory thing of ruining the first corner right after. It's a rule when you do a PB, next lap has to be slower. Can't do 2 BBs in a row. It's not bad.
Well, something happened to Savi because Mikiewicz is right behind him, just 0.3 of a second. So we might have battle for second place.
Which makes it difficult for me to decide to be on Mikovic or on Troy, but we're on Mikovic now. For a change, because Troy already got loads of airtime.
Well, Savi got some of his gap to Mikiewicz back. It's now 0.6, while Troy is still closing up. But Pete was slightly faster in this lap and also drove his personal best in this race.
Okay, we're switching back to Troy. The onboard of Troy, so to say.
Pete goes wide in this turn, but holds it on the road. Already defending, he knows what's coming. Troy wants some
He's
revenge.
trying to break the draft, but he's pretty much outbraked himself instead.
Yeah. But Troy is patient. It looks to me like Pete has better exit from this U-turn before the final assist. So he's now off the draft risk.
Troy made a small mistake there, and he was on the grass. And he's going to have a slower lap as a result now. Slower on the first splits in comparison with Pete.
Well, at the back of the field, battle for 12th position, Ronald just overtook Kapal. I mean, Spencer. Oh, wait, sorry. Total misunderstanding. It was Car, which was one lap back.
Oh.
My bad.
Okay.
I was wondering, it was too easy. The gaps in the rest of the field are too big for any direct battle anyway.
Well, let's watch Savvy again. Savvy has, who is that driving in front there? That's Gatila. He has another blue flag situation. Using his horn again. But
now Katila could just move away because now it's just too long.
Yeah.
And so he does.
No problem there.
We're not an F1.
Still using his horn.
You passed. You're honking now. It's too late.
Let's see how Mikovic is going to do that.
We lost connection with Carson. Carson was in 6th place, I think, or so, and at the same time Pete goes for his first pit stop from 4th position. 2 major events in a few seconds. And Pete is already out in 6th position, so that's a good strategy for him. It worked, and also he's fast, obviously. Let's see how Troy answers to that, because now he has clear track ahead of him. And also Pete is all alone and nobody to defend.
Yeah, you're talking, but while you're doing that, Capel making his pit stop also. Isn't that his second pit stop? Yeah, that's going to be his second pit stop. I was switching the cameras while you were talking, and Mikovic now really gets on the back of Jay Gatila. Jay Gatila moves out of the way without a problem. So no issues there for Mikovic.
Also Connor pits, but Connor is in 18th position.
He already left the pits.
There's also a battle for 14th and 15th position between Littman and Kistner. And Kistner is attacking.
But
he's far too far.
Like I said before, Kistner has made 2 pit stops, Littman only 1.
Leipniks has pitted. Now he's
Yep.
in 9th position.
Yes, they're having difficulties with Dietmanen. Dietmanen not giving up his position. Defending quite heavily, but on straight.
Now I'm watching Troy and Pete closely. Troy has just second split 57.49, which is really good, while Pete is almost 4 tenths slower. Let's see
Yeah,
if Troy
okay.
pits or goes on for another lap, and he continues. Also, we lose connection with Sharka. This is second connection loss in 2 laps.
Well, Mikovic has made his pit stop.
I think if it goes like this, Pete is losing the race because Troy is clearly so much faster.
Yeah, we will see. I tried to figure out. I lost contact with the race, so to say. I need to figure out where the action is.
Troy, another great second split. Almost the same as in the previous lap. But Pete is not that much slower this time.
Kovac, the
leader-
leader, is in the pits, or is out of
Yes.
the pits almost.
That's his first pit stop.
And who's there behind? Savi?
And
Yeah,
he returns on the track in first position with no problems.
And Troy.
Troy with his first pit stop. And Pete with his second pit stop at the same time.
Winkler is continuing. Yeah, so much stuff happens that Pete's there in the pits.
Kovac has some lap drivers ahead of him, so there is an option he could pit this lap to get rid of them, but he already
Not
overtook
anymore.
one. And yes, he continues. So does Savi and also Mikiewicz. Also Winkler. But Troy
does
pits
my
for the
strategy.
second time, and this is it.
Doing
This
both
is what
pit
we
stops
have
in a
been
row.
watching the whole time. Stopped, no problems. Pete is entering the pit straight, start-finish straight right now. But Troy is so far ahead. It's 5 seconds, I think. That is a job well done. No overtaking and also so far ahead of his competitor. He might be just wishing he wouldn't make so many mistakes in the beginning.
Who is there now in the pit lane? It's Litmanen and Spencer.
Yeah, exactly. And that's in the second half of the field.
We have
Also the
covered
leader. Leader
our
is in the
second
pits
pit stop.
again. And I think for the first time we have change in the lead for now. It's Savi who leads the race. Kovac is in third, but only until the other drivers pit for the second time as well.
Yeah. Winkler still needs to make 2 pit stops. Well, we have another person in the pits. It's Morvai for his second pit stop.
And he goes out in 8th position.
Let's see if Savi stays out or not. Same for Mikovic.
He goes
Savi
in.
goes in. Same for Mikovic, both in the pits.
And Kovac is back in the lead with 5 laps remaining.
Yeah, that camera could be positioned a little bit better. So we now have only Winkler, who still needs to make 2 pit stops. Lapnik still needs to make a pit stop. And LRK Racer still needs to make a pit stop. And Esco. Anyway, Winkler is point of focus now. Goes he in this lap? Still not. So he's saving his pit stop for lap 48 and lap 49. Seems.
Enjoying the glory. Core in first and second.
For the time, yeah.
And
Fastest
Troy
lap for Troy.
makes the fastest lap, 30.81.
But
Which-
well,
Last lap I thought he was having some trouble because his last lap was like 32.2 or something.
that leaves the pits for his last pit stop.
He's 3 seconds behind Mikovic, so with 4 laps remaining, it's a really tiny chance of something happening.
Yeah, Lapnix was dealing with Jay Katila, but Jay Katila has more than a lap down, or is a lap down. Back close with Winkler. Winkler needs to go in now.
And
He's
he
not doing
goes.
that.
It was spectacular drift. And almost missed his pit stall also.
That's his first one while Pete is on the straight there. But that went okay.
Well, Winkler is not far behind Pete.
Towing with camera angles and stuff.
Let's see how big is the gap. So Pete is 1 4/10 of a second ahead of Winkler with 2 and something laps remaining. And Winkler makes a mistake, and that's all of it. That's gone.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. He needs to make another pit stop anyway.
But it's gonna be tight for him to keep 6th.
Okay. You have more of I? Okay.
The split before he made the mistake, it was 14.3 seconds. And I would say to surely be ahead, you need at least 15 seconds. So.
Oh, this was Winkler's first pit stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He needs to make another one. Yeah, I have a little bit of an advantage here because I have the InSim on my screen, so I can follow everything. There comes his second pit stop. Let's see.
Well, Morva is on the pit straight, and I think he will be. It will be close. It will be really close.
For some reason.
Morvai has it, I think.
I think he goes ahead. Yes, he's faster, and he's in 7th
Yeah, that
position.
mistake cost him 6th.
Yeah.
As I thought it would. So basically he would have needed 15 seconds and lost about half a second when he only had 14.3.
Well, he still has almost 2 laps to do something with it.
Yeah, but look at his tires, it's not gonna happen. It's stone cold.
Not switching for some reason.
No, Morva is not doing much better.
Yes, he is on the rear. And he is on the front, because that you can see that the inside air is greener, unless he does that.
Yeah.
And that means he must run less tire pressure, which means that in this part of the track he can easily generate more temp.
Well, it's 7/10 of a second and 1 and something, 1 and quarter lap remaining.
What are we talking about now?
The battle between Morva and Winkler.
Right, okay, that's on the stream. Yeah, that's some difficulties with the camera. The track cam was stuck on the pits while the race was continuing.
Well, Morva does his personal best in this race. Oh, and Winkler is really slow in the first sector. So this will be last 3 or 4 turns for Laszlo Kovac in this race. He's already making his way to the final assist. And he's on the start-finish straight going to take the checkered flag for this race.
Yep, there he goes. I got start finish.
And also did a fastest lap on the
Yeah.
last lap.
That's a nice end to his
Well,
race.
his fastest lap at least.
Well, Savi makes the fastest lap in his final lap as well, and it's the best lap of the race. Mikiewicz is third, Troy is fourth, Pete is fifth, Morvai will be sixth. Seventh is Winkler, and so on. So I think this time we have Troy to thank for the entertainment mostly, because he has been battling at the front with for most of the time in the race. And in the end, he won fourth position thanks to his strategy and faster lap times, while Pete was behind him.
I think that was all because of the faster lap time.
Who's making their go on the grass?
Well, of course, but he would have more difficulties
Spencer.
if they all pitted at the
Oh,
same
LRK
time.
has run out of fuel, it seems.
Yeah, it's up a hill.
He's going into the pits, but why is he doing that?
Because
Maybe
the way to the line
refueling.
is shorter, I guess. But he's ruined that by going across the pits. I guess he's trying to get to the pit stall.
Yeah, he might just get there. Or maybe not.
No, I don't think he will. There we go.
Oh, that's tough luck.
Yeah. That's sad ending of this race. Everybody finished now? No. Right? Who's driving there still? Jay Katila. He's just doing an extra lap. Okay. Chat has opened. Oh yeah. What to say about this race? Well, Troy did a lot of stuff. Kovac had yeah, throughout the whole race excellent performance. Followed by Savi and Mikovic. Yeah, let's look forward to the next race, FO8 at AS5 in 2 weeks. Quite sure that's going to be some action there. I think that's an interesting combo. But let's do a little bit more preview of that. Is there going to be mandatory pit stop there? I don't know. Dom knows, of
There's
course.
always a mandatory pit stop.
There's always
Thanks,
a mandatory
Dom.
pit stop. Okay.
Race fuel qualifying and the mandatory pit stop.
That's one pit stop this time. Seems. Okay. Yeah, let's call it a day. We're going to have some after talks and yeah, see you in 2 weeks. Yeah.
Okay, thanks everyone for following us, for watching us, and listening to our commentary. And see you next time.
Yep. Bye bye.